We'll start with Mr. Greenwald.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
Likewise. Is the critical function of a board member vis-a-vis the administration? Is that a role that a board member should engage in? Is to not just accept it because it comes from administration, from the superintendent? Should be a public probing and questioning?
Oh, I think I addressed that in the question that was asked earlier. We hire a superintendent, and our job is to make sure that they're doing their job. We certainly vet and ask questions. We certainly engage in the process. The administrator or the superintendent has to implement the plan, but from our standpoint, or at least from my standpoint, I'm going to ask him questions. I'm going to engage in the process, and I'm going to make sure that everything is well thought out and well put together. But he's got to implement that. If it's something that I don't agree with, I'm going to tell him, and it'll be up to the balance of the board to discuss.
Would that be in public, or would you do that in private?
Ultimately, from a board standpoint, I have conversations with the superintendent on a daily basis. So I don't know that we've ever had an issue that's gotten to the board that has been contentious and has been an issue. So.
Okay. Mr. Oakley?
I think when it comes to administrators' role, I think their input is crucial and should be very closely considered. That being said, I feel it's the board's job to represent the community and hearing their concerns as well, and it should be a balanced decision. The community, the teacher, or the parents should be represented in that process, and it should be an automatic. Whatever the administration wants is just automatically accepted.
Ms. Fulton?
Could you do me a favor and just kind of brief me on what that question
What
was?
I'm interested in is your view of what the critical function of a board member should be vis-a-vis the superintendent or the administration at large in public. I understand, as Mr. Greenwald said, there's ongoing contact and dialogue, but I'm more interested in what the public take is on the relationship that they see when they come to board meetings.
Okay. I feel that I need to be a liaison to the community, to the school district. However, at board meetings, I honestly feel that most of those topics have already been discussed, and since they've already been discussed, questions have been asked, research has been done. So I think you're seeing more formality at the board meeting. It's the meetings that happen before the board meeting that where all of those questions and things come in.
But those are out of the public view, right?
Out of the public view. So are you asking how the public will know those things?
Right. That's a great way to put it.
As those topics and issues come up, I think board members have the responsibility of talking to the public so that they are aware of what's up there and what's going on.
You, sir.
Being last is just we'll wind this up. They all hit it straight on. Our job is to, like I said, hire a superintendent and just make sure that he or she is doing his job. As far as being, the individual person to enforce policies, that's not what we do. Our job is simply to just make sure that the treasurer and the superintendent are performing their duties. Whatever is lined out, whatever we line out, whatever we work to line out. So it's just very important that we do everything we can to work together and make sure that.
So do you think there should be a critical back and forth between a board member and a member of the administration or the superintendent in public view, or do you think that's not something that should be out there in public?
I never think you should ever in the public view challenge someone in a dramatic sense. I think that's highly unprofessional. I don't think that's the way to go. If you have something that you need to discuss personally with anybody in a higher position, that needs to happen behind closed doors and away from public eye.
Okay. Do you think there's a role for a board member in dealing with state legislators on the problems that school systems?
I think indirectly, yes. Thank you. indirectly, there absolutely is. We're not going to be able to. We only have so much control over what the state does. It's not basically anything that we can control directly. Do we have some influence? I think maybe a little bit, but I think you want to work together as much as you can with them, and